Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the farm. My name is Luke. Today we're doing something we don't typically do, or at least we hope we don't have to do, but today we're doing something that we do to help save us some money here on the farm. I feel like most farmers probably don't do this. They don't want to put in the work and sweat equity, but Coleman and I is willing to do it and save us a couple $100. And as many tires as we change during the year, we save a lot more than a couple $100. But anyway, today it is tire day for the 986. As y'all can tell, these tires are pretty much slick. I mean, there's a little bit of tread left, but not much. Y'all can see this one over here. We're actually getting the water sucked out of it. Y'all can see it's sucking the tire off the rim. We got a little pump here. I bought it at an auction a long time ago. We got it pumping all our water out of this tire. The water is our ballast, which is basically our weight. By adding, this tire probably hold 80, 90, 100 gallons. We're easily adding 600, 700, 800 pounds of weight to our tire, and using it this way it's pretty cheap. It's a lot cheaper than buying weights. But anyway, we had a neighbor give us some combine tires to come off his old combine. They have quite a bit of stubble rash on them, but they've got pretty decent tread on them. And we're going to swap them on here, or at least try one of them and see what it looks like, and go from there. They are actually a 20.838, where these are 18.438. So as long as it fits, it actually should look a little better on the tractor anyway. Coleman is also pulling the SCVs out of this thing. If anybody's ever been around these old Internationals, you know that the SCVs on these things, they absolutely suck. I mean, they are terrible.
They left a lot to be desired.
And that's coming from an International guy there. But anyway, Coleman bought some adapter conversion kit things that will make it like the newer style tractors where you just push them in. They should be here probably later today. So that's one other thing we got to do. We got to do the tires. Coleman's got a couple hoses and things he wants to change out. We added some corner lights here on the cab so that Coleman can see the grain cart spout whenever he is working on it. And last night we changed the blower motor out. I'll throw a little clip of that in there. So we're working on our International 986. Done a bunch of work to it. Y'all know we put the injection pump on. We're going to put some tires on it. Coleman's service the machine. And we're getting ready for harvest, getting ready for to pull the grain cart. But we put a new blower motor in this tractor last year, right around this time. And it's got to where it was making some racket. It was making like I don't know if the fan was rubbing or something inside. But anyway, I contacted Abilene Machine, which is who we bought this thing from. And no way affiliated with them or anything. But I contacted them yesterday at 4 p.m. And the new warranted blower motor was sitting in my carport by the time we got home from lunch today at 1 o'clock. Like I said, no way affiliated with them, but that is some dang good customer service and some dang good fast shipping. So I highly recommend anybody, if y'all want to go buy something from them. They're very good. They're held true to the warranty claim, or at least they've sent it out to me. I guess when we send our new one back, we'll see what they say. But anyway, new one is quiet, blows really good, and one step closer to harvest. But other than that, we're getting pretty close to the old 986. Whether or not you guys have seen it or not, we did have to put an injection pump on it. We checked with some local shops. Most of our local shops wanted $2,000 to $2,500. We actually went through Tractor Parts ASAP. Allstate Ag Parts, same thing. Anyway, they ordered us a pump, come out of South Dakota. Anyway, ordered us a pump. We got it for $1,600. We do have to send our old one back for a core charge, but she runs like a top now. Coleman has serviced it up. He got some weights on a forklift he bought, so we got 4 weights, and we're going to borrow some from a friend to fill out the weight rack to help us pull this grain cart. Oh, and he also added LED lights to the cab. Y'all can see there, 2 here, 2 there, and then 2 on the back.
The reason we added them is because them lights back here do absolutely nothing when that cart's behind you, because it can't spread around that cart. So they're kind of a necessary evil to have because you can't see that spout at all still.
But those are the same light housing as like these are, so that they'll all be the same style light. One of these is like a floodlight, one of them's more of a spotlight.
That's a flood. That's a 90 watt, 7,000 lumen flood there and on the back, and then that's a 2,000 or 2,500 lumen, 30 watt trapezoid light. The trapezoid's supposed to get a little further out, more like you driving lights on your car, and then them are supposed to be a little better for the field.
We're putting what, them on the corner?
They're not going to be quite as bright as those, but they'll be a flood. They're going to be about a 2,000 or 3,000 lumen. I didn't want super high lumen lights on the side because you blind the combine driver.
But anyway, that's the plans with the 986. We're about ready to put her to work here. We're hoping to have corn ready. We're hoping about a week and a half. We got to do this to the tractor, and we've got a little work to do to the combine. Some issues and stuff that we found once we started harvesting what little bit of early corn we had. But we're gonna try to knock this out first, and then we'll hop on the combine and get it knocked out. Maybe get this thing done today, maybe, and jump on it tomorrow. And then we've also got back here behind me about $1,500 worth of tires. We're gonna put 2 of them on the steers on our truck, and then the 2 good steers on the truck, and the 3 other new ones we're gonna put on my dump trailer. We got some tires that are getting a little bit dry cracked, and we're gonna be doing a lot of hauling with this thing most likely, and we would just soon not have a blowout. So we should be good on tires on the truck and trailer, hopefully, once we get this done. So plenty of tires to change, and several dollars here to be saved by us doing it. I know the guys that we usually get to do our stuff that done this thing back in the spring, they're very reasonable. I mean, it's like a $75 service call for them to come to your farm, and then basically this would be like $100 a tire. So we'd be looking at a good $300 here. But I mean, Coleman and I have the tools, we have the knowledge, we have everything to do it. It's not that hard. It's a little bit manual labor, but anyway, we'll get her done, and she'll look a lot better. It's amazing how much that pump is compressing that tire.
Sucked it in on this side and it's bulging that way.
I've never seen it do anything like that. That is crazy. That's what the tire's supposed to look like.
Where's our beat hammer at? I'm curious to sit her saw.
That is insane. Afternoon, guys. It's been, I don't know, what's it been now, Coleman? 3 or 4 days since we took this tire off?
Yeah,
probably. I think we done it maybe Friday or Saturday. Our original plan was a neighbor had given us a couple tires that he had took off his combine. He had one of them that had started separating along the sidewall. So he replaced them, put new ones on, and then their combine burnt. But anyway, we got this tire off, got ready to go get his tires. And turns out we found bad spots, or what we anticipate to be bad spots, on 3 of the 4, basically. We had one that was decent. So Coleman and I had made the executive decision. We're like, all right, we're going to plan on running this tractor. So we ordered 2 brand new Firestone Radial 23-degree all traction or whatever. Basically the best of the best. It's what we run on 4250. We've had good luck with them. We got 2 of those ordered to be here tomorrow. Also had a viewer of the channel reach out up close to South Boston, Virginia, where we bought our baler. His name is Steve. He's got a small farm similar to us. He hooked us up with some dual adapters and the actual wheels. So we are going to put duals on this thing. Coleman and I took off this morning about 5 o'clock and headed up towards his farm, which is about 2 hours away from us. And yeah, we got us some duals for this thing. He had a 986. It was an open station 986. Had these duals on it. And then he decided he found a 1086 that he upgraded to. And it had a different set of style of duals on it. And he had kept these duals thinking it would fit the 1086. But the axle tubing is apparently bigger on the 1086. So he gave us a really good deal on these. Shout out to him. He shot me an email late sometime last night, and I shot him a text, and Coleman and I went and picked him up today. This thing's gonna look a little different with a new set of tires there and then the duals on it. this thing ought to be more than ready to pull the grain cart. Cool part is he pulled a grain cart almost identical. Well, I guess it pretty much is identical to ours, same model number and everything, with his 986 and duals, and now pulls it with his 1086. So that gives us a lot more confidence that we can pull it with this tractor. And he's probably a little more hilly than we are, but we feel pretty confident with a new set of radial tires on the inside, and then these the duals I just showed you on the back of the truck, get them stuck on here, that we're going to be in good shape. But for now, we're waiting. Our tires should be here tomorrow, but we're working on getting this set, or this tire ready. What we're having to do to make these duals fit, we are essentially having to move the hub on the inside and the wheel just as far towards the inside of the cab as we can to give us enough room for this outer dual to sit and have the correct amount of space. Everything we have researched says you want at least 4 inches of space between the tire, the outer tire and the inner tire. You want at least 4 inches. That allows the tire to bag a little bit. And anyway, that's what we're trying to achieve. And as I'm sure a lot of you know, we're messing with bolts that have been in place for the last 50, 60 years. It's easier said than done, but we are getting there. We did get this hub moved in, as y'all can see by there, but looking at the axle. We're going to flip this wheel itself while we got everything off while it's easy. We're going to flip this wheel basically inside out. That way the valve stem will be on the inside so that we can access it easier with a dual on. I'm not really sure that we could access it if we leave it on this side and have that dual up there close to it. So put it on the inside, we know we'll be able to use it. But that's where we're at on this tractor. I don't know what all I showed you guys. I think I've got everything that we've done up to now. We did install, we updated the quick couplers back here. This is the newer style quick coupler. You push it in, and then when you're ready to release it, you push it in and pull it again. Hopefully that's going to work a lot better. We installed these 2 lights up here on the corner of the cab. Coleman and got those finished wired in, and we got our LED lights in it. This way, this one here, you'll be able to see the grain cart spout, which will be somewhere right here in this neighborhood, pointing to the truck. And then we also installed this little gas shock strut kit on this door. They're supposed to have little pieces of metal here that hold the door. The other side still has that. This one has never had it, but when my grandpa used it, he had saddle tanks here, and the door would go up against the saddle tank, so it didn't really matter. But we took those off, and the door would actually swing all the way around there and hit the hood right there a little bit, if y'all can see that little dent. So we installed that little gas strut, and just a bunch of little odds and ends. Like I said earlier, he's changed all the fluids, changed all the hoses, put some new oil cooler hoses. He's got new radiator hoses. I think we're going to probably need a radiator in sometime. Hopefully it'll make it through this year. So, but anyway, we got to get this tire or this rim moved and get it correctly aligned to the position that we need it at. And tomorrow we'll have new tires to go on here. So we're going to get to work, and I will keep you guys caught up as we go along. I'm not going to show you the whole process because you'd be here for hours. But anyway. All right, so as y'all can obviously tell, we got this rim set in. About pretty much as far as it can go. Y'all can see how far it is from that one. Coleman's in the tractor, we're gonna put it in gear. We wanna make sure the rim is fairly square, true this way. Pretty darn true. Really, other than that place is bent on the rim. Pretty dang good.
It might be off an eighth of an inch.
That's not pretty bad for just eyeballing it as I put it back, put the rim on. Anyway, this one, it's ready now for an inner dual. I guess we can go ahead and put the hub, or put the new our dual hub on there and get it set. We'll be ready to put this tire on tomorrow when they come in, if we can. First chance of rain tomorrow in about, well, really about a month, I guess. Our double crop beans and stuff could really use it. So part of me hopes we get it, and part of me's like, well, really, we need it. We need it. It's gonna cost us money if we don't get it. I would love to be able to get in cornfield sooner, but I checked it this evening, it's still about 20%, 21, so I don't know when it's gonna dry down. It feels like it's been to this percent for about 2 weeks now, but it'll get there eventually. I think all of it's gonna be ready at the same time is gonna be the problem. But anyway, we're gonna get this thing wrapped up and might jump onto the combine. We got a few more things we can do to it. Have it ready. And we've actually got to get the 6620 down here. Those of you who may be new, we just picked up this 9500 this early spring, late winter at auction. And this is going to be my combine. I purchased it myself. I've been running my grandfather's 6620. But because we have corn and beans coming in almost the exact same time, we're going to use the 9500 for corn. And we're going to get the 6620 out. And as long as it doesn't need much work, we're going to grease it up. And we're going to cut our early beans with it. So, Matt Griggs, I know you'll be happy to see the old yellow top 6620 back in action again. And we'll also get to see the 9500. And we may cut some beans with it late this fall. We'll just see. But there's no sense in changing this from corn to beans, right back to corn, because, you know, we got another combine sitting up there, and it last cut soybeans, so it should be pretty much ready to go in the field and hit it hard. So, anyway, should get to see both of those combines this fall, so y'all look forward to that. But we're going to get this thing finished up. We got to fix our hole in that thing, so got plenty to do. So it's the next day here. We got our rim set pretty much exactly how we wanted last night. And it started getting dark on us, so I didn't get anything on video, but we got our auger pulled out here out of our 9500 combine. It comes out the passenger side here. Y'all can see there, I've actually already got my piece of metal laid in there. That right there is a stainless steel insert. That actually came from John Deere. I think his A&I part number is a little bit cheaper through A&I than it was Deere. But we got that piece in, and that is, we took the auger out and we bought that piece to fix our leak in our grain tank right here, where it's kind of rusted and just wore through. If y'all remember back when we made our first corn harvest video, the crappy corn, found that leak there. And this is kind of the permanent fix, what I've been told. We had to pull that auger completely out, which I've been told you didn't have to pull it out, but I figured it would probably make it a lot easier getting it in there. And as much trouble as I had getting the bolts and stuff lined up in here last night, I'm glad we did. This is going to be tough to show it, but this end up here actually has slots made in it, and there's 2 carriage head bolts that are holding the Y piece for your vertical unload auger here. 2 of those carriage head bolts down there, those were a really big pain in the butt. You have to kind of get them loose, and you have to have somebody on the bottom side tightening and loosening those bolts, and then one of us up here getting everything lined up right. Took us a long while. To push that thing down in place, I actually used like a one of these wood clamps, Irwin wood clamps, turned around backwards so that I can push things apart. And that's how I was able to get that side in. And then this side, I think what we'll have to do, I'm going to bring my little wire welder up here. We're going to tack weld that side up and then try to push this side in just as far as we can, because we want the divot, the valley there, we want it to be flat against the valley in the combine. And right now the I guess the angle, you would say, of the bend isn't just 100% perfect match, so we actually have to force it down so that it will make good contact all the way down through here and that the auger won't rub it. And then we will just come in here, obviously it's bolted on that side, we'll just come in here every 6 inches or foot and put a little tack weld down through there. That's all it's going to take to hold this piece in. It's not holding any weight. All it's doing is just basically providing a new wear edge for this grain to move down our auger path here. Our wore out place was right in here. You can't see it now obviously, but that's where it was wore out at. And like I said, this is kind of their permanent fix for this. I've been told this will last a really, really long time. It's stainless steel, so it has a lot higher wear resistance than the old steel. And I mean, this combine's already 40 years old or older, so this should last me until it's time for us to upgrade to something bigger. All right, so we got our corn head on here. I've got everything put back together. y'all can tell, we got the auger back in there. I took a link out of this chain because it was too loose. I had a hydraulic fitting leaking on the header, and we replaced that. As y'all can see here, we got our auger pan in there. That's a stainless steel sheet of metal. We got our hole right here. I got it in there, and there's 2 bolts on this side you put in, and then the rest of it I just welded. You can bolt or rivet it, but I figure welding it was easier. In order to get this pan to go down far enough, I took a jack out of like a car, one of the scissor type jacks. This particular one had a like an 18mm nut on it, so I could put my impact and run it up real quick. And I used that jack to press against the center of the stainless piece against this and push that thing down in the crack, and it worked pretty good. I think I'm gonna blow this out and use some silicone sealant or something to seal this edge up around here, so that maybe if it was to ever sit out and get rained on, maybe water won't run down in there. But I have went ahead and checked it, and it is working. It's not hitting or anything, so we're good to go there. Combine should be ready to go for corn, hopefully. We just need the corn to dry up now. Coleman has the old 6620 behind me out here. We got a few things to do to it, and it'll be ready to shell our early soybeans. Once we get it cleaned up and ready to go, it'll be ready to pick our early season soybeans. Instead of us having to switch this thing from corn back to beans, we've got that combine. It's full of fuel, and it was cutting beans last, so it should be ready to go other than servicing it up and doing a few little things here and there. We have had a very pricey delivery this morning. It's very nice, but very pricey. Let me show y'all what we got. Oh yeah, looky there. Got some nice Firestone Radials to put on the old 986. She is gonna be ready for grain buggy duty. Coleman's sticking her on here. He's just about got her on. And we're gonna be ready to put a dual on here shortly. Well, y'all want to see what she looks like with a new inner Firestone radial and then the dual that we picked up the other day? Looks pretty good, don't she? I think it's gonna look like a completely different tractor myself. Now, obviously these tires we picked up the other day, these are not very great. They're pretty cracked up, and these probably are not gonna last very long. But if something does happen, they go out. We've got the old tires off the tractor, which are about wore out, but they'll be fine for duals. We're picking up these duals and putting these on here. That way, hopefully that'll give us enough traction for one and help us with stability pulling that grain cart. Like I said earlier, the guy that we bought the duals from, he pulled a cart identical to ours with his 986. So I feel pretty confident that we shouldn't have any trouble with it. But don't that inside Firestone, ain't that thing pretty? Darn, it'd be beautiful if we had one over here. If someone from Firestone's watching and you want to support a young farmer and a young YouTube channel, come get with me. This thing would look sick with two Firestones on the outer duals too. But this old farmer ain't got the money. We're about to spin out. But it does look very, very good. We got her on there. We ended up having to put a tube in it. We couldn't get it to go tubeless. And right now we're pumping our water back in. So this is a mix of methanol and water. This one here, if y'all remember back from wheat harvest, we had our local tire guy come out and we had a tube bust on this tire, and we had him put a new tube in it, and all the water leaked out, so he had to put new fresh water and fresh methanol in it. And we've got fresh methanol in those buckets over there to put in the other side. when we get to it here shortly. As soon as this one gets done pumping in there, we're gonna swap this tank over to the other side, pump it out, and start on that side. Kind of got my doubts that we'll get it done tonight, but hopefully we'll get close. But we got that done. And then if y'all can tell up here in front of this tire, we got a full rack of weights. We had a neighbor that had some and we borrowed them just to help us pull the grain cart with this fall. But yeah, she looks like a whole different animal compared to this side. Someone's wanting to get some 1116s and put on the front, make the front a little taller. Trying to decide if we want to go 4-rib or the old 3-rib style, tri-rib style like that. These here, when my grandpa ran it with a sprayer, this thing used to have saddle tanks on it. And the tire rods and all were way out of adjustment. And it obviously wore the outside edge of the tires really bad. Nothing wrong with those tires necessarily, but they don't look the greatest. But anyway, she's looking good. Looking like a completely different tractor now. All right, guys, so today we are changing tires on the 986. We're preparing it for harvest so it can pull our grain cart. As you can tell by looking here, those tires are pretty much wore out. And Coleman and I went and we splurged a little bit. We bought some Firestone 18438 Super Traction radials, 23 degrees. Really what I consider probably the best of the best tires. We're gonna put it on here. And then we've also got the duals that you guys saw the other day us pick up. We got these duals and dual hubs from a viewer that watches my channel. We're gonna put them on here and we're gonna have a really nice looking tractor. It's gonna be ready for harvest. Probably wouldn't think that little pump right there was much. Y'all can see we pumped this. I mean, it's probably pumping like 5 gallons a minute or something. Y'all take a look at this tire. Holy crap. It has sucked it plumb flat. I can't believe that. That is insane. We just about got all the water out. We'll be ready to pull this tire off here in a minute. I've been over here repairing my spigot here on the side of my shop. I dug a French drain in here last winter and accidentally bumped it with the mini hoe and bent it and tore it up. So we're getting it fixed. Luckily my walls in here, I had them screwed on there where I could get to the plumbing. So we got that fixed. That way we can put tire in this one because we're gonna put new fluid in this one, new methanol and fresh water. Y'all look how much it sucked it in. Y'all can see how good them duals look on it over there. All right, guys, so now that we have all of our water out of this tire, I ain't gonna say completely empty. There's probably a few gallons in the bottom of the tube, but most of the water is out of the tire in this IBC tote. Right now, what we have to do is we have to break the bead from the rim. All right, on a small tire, we've got a tire machine that does that, or on a truck tire, you do it with a hammer. On these big tires like this, we have this pneumatic over hydraulic breaker. You stick this piece right here in between the rim and the bead, and then this claw comes down and it pushes the rim off the tire, breaks the bead essentially. This can be very interesting. All right, so our bead breaker is in there. Right now it's pushing that bead off if it doesn't pop off the rim. That's what you hit right there.
Probably ought to vice grip it and get it lined back in there because it starts separating.
That's how we push the bead off the rim there. This is sometimes a little bit of a pain, especially if these tires have been on here like this one for years and years and years. We got her in there good this time. That's gonna push her right off the bead if y'all can see that in there.
Got these vice grips just for security in case it does decide to come back.
That one's a little more on the rusty side there.
This one hasn't been off. It's moving.
Get it down here closer to where it's separating there. It's gonna be a fun one here. All right, guys, tire is off there. As y'all can tell, it's pretty rusty. We're gonna have to do a lot of work with a needle scaler and a wire brush on a grinder, and we will take and paint all this. That way it don't continue to rust. Try to preserve it some, but overall it ain't in bad shape. Seen a lot worse. Get her cleaned up, painted, and we got to move this rim into this set of or this ring, and we got to move the hub in. to make leave the correct amount of space for the duals. So we still got probably 2 or 3 hours worth, and we're gonna have to get a new tube. So that tube was so glued in there that it ripped it when we pulled it out. After a little sweat equity with a needle scaler and a grinder with a wire wheel, she's looking pretty daggum good again. Probably had to wipe her down with some acetone or something, but she's about ready for paint. So what our plan is we have to move this rim. We have to move it from the notch it's on out to this one. That's gonna push this thing that way 4 inches. And then we also have to move this main hub that way. I think we moved it, what, maybe 10 inches? I mean 5 inches or something, about 10 inches. You know, it's pretty much all the way in. That's just to give us enough room for that extra dual out here. But we're gonna move it before we paint it. And once we get it moved in place and everything tightened right, then we will get this thing painted, and we will get us a new tube tomorrow, and then we'll be ready to put that new tire and our dual on probably tomorrow evening sometime. A lot of work, but I think it's gonna make it a lot nicer and a lot safer come harvest time pulling that grain cart with this thing. All right, rim is mounted. It's not perfectly in line, but as good as we can get it. We're ready to install our tire. So let's get her stuck on there, get some water in it. New tire is on and aired up. We're just waiting around a little bit. We're getting a few little bubbles around the valve stem. Pretty sure it's just trapped air in there from the tube. I'm just gonna make sure that that quits. Got our dual hub on, and we took 2 bolts. We bought a couple extra bolts, chopped the heads off so we have an alignment stud. Put that wheel up on here to line it with, start our other bolts, pull them out, and put a regular bolt. Good tip for anybody that needs that. But we'll be going here in just a minute. Just in case anybody wondered about our trailer that we bought, the van trailer we bought, come with all the stuff in it. This right here pays for the trailer, and we've made $20 on it now so far. We have sold the forklift attachment, we've sold the wet line tank, and we have now sold the nail gun that was in there, and this is $2,020. We've paid for the trailer officially. We still got our money and fuel tied up in it, but I've got a set of torches, I got a welder, all kinds of truck parts, and just all kinds of other stuff still left. I've literally sold 3 items out of it and paid for it, so Lord's blessed us well. Let's get this thing, get some tires on this sucker. Woo-wee, would y'all looky there. Finally got our tire on. That first go around, we actually pinched the tube, so I went and got another tube. I think we've got this one working okay. Putting our water in now. So girl's gonna be ready to pull a cart here very soon. Hopefully we'll be done and ready before the corn's ready. But I don't know, this thing's whooping our butt. And Coleman's got 2 front tires ordered. And those should be pretty easy, hopefully. We can do them in there on the tire maker, on the tire changer, thankfully. Y'all, she looks like a totally different tractor now, holy crap. Doesn't look near as wimpy. She's wide. Heck yeah. Hopefully none of them leak. Morning guys, Saturday, September 20th. We're out here on the farm. We got some new steer tires for the truck, and we've also got a few new tires going on the trailer. Trying to wrap up things here, harvest prep before we start harvesting, because we're gonna have to haul some of our stuff off obviously. And we want this truck to be as tip-top shape as we can. And tires is one thing that we can put on it, and you know, we know that it's gonna be good. I mean, if we have a tire blowout on the road, it's gonna be very costly. So we've got 5 total tires here. We've got 2 on the steers on this truck. We're pretty good shape, but we decided to go ahead and replace those, and we'll put the ones that were up here on the trailer. And then we have 3 more to go on the 3 more new ones to go on the trailer as well. But we're out here, we blew it up. We got everything off on this first tire. I'll try to get y'all a little bit of filming on the other side. But we used our air cannon. We could not get this thing to seat on the bead. So we used a can of starting fluid and our torch there, get back away from it so it's a little bit safer. But what do you guys call starting fluid when you're using it for like this? Coleman's coined the terminology spicy air. That's what we're calling it now. because we tried it on our tractor tire that we changed the other day, and we got it a little too spicy, and it blew the other side of the bead completely off the rim twice. Wish I'd have had that on video, because this scared me and Coleman about half to death the first time, because this sounded like a 50 caliber rifle going off in your ear. But anyway, spicy air, that's what we're calling it. We're gonna get this sucker changed out here. We got her deflated, we got her bead broke. I just took the hammer and barely tapped around it and it come right off. Y'all probably gonna laugh at us. Y'all are probably gonna laugh at us time we get this thing done. I'm sure there's a better one here. Put one over here for you to get started. Multiple spots. Cut there. Put this back there in the middle. We're trying to take half the tire at 1 minute. We got some of this mountain compound. We just got a brushing on some stuff come in that van trailer that we purchased. It's too slick. And we got the other side to go right on. You gotta make small bites with your feet. Use your feet, use your feet. Amazing to me how easy these go on there. So I don't know if they go on that good, or if this that lube stuff is just that good. Cause it's very slick, like going on there.
This is good stuff. So most tire people use. Come on.
I know we got a couple tire guys that watch. What do y'all use? I'm sure they're like, look at these dumbasses. All right, time for some spicy air, guys. I'll plug it up. One hot. Spicy air makes the tires come to life. Viewer discretion. Don't try this at home.
I would have read that video, but wow.
We're us both crafting our britches. We probably lost a little bit of hearing after that. All right, now we just pump her up, gauge it out once it gets to 110, and we're be on to the trailer. Well, we got our new tires there on the front. Got our Ruth Farms decals put on the truck. We got our DOT numbers listed now. We had one more cab light we had to change out, and then we got this light here mounted up. We had issues with it. And so the truck should be pretty much ready to go now. Check all of our fluids and stuff. Right now we've got our dump trailer. That's what we're gonna haul our grain with this fall. We got 5 tires we're gonna change out on it. And Coleman's pulled around here and noticed this tire right here. Y'all can see that it's got a bubble. So it's a good thing we're changing. We got 3 new ones sitting here in the shed, and then we got the 2 we just took off the truck. There's nothing wrong with the ones we took off the truck, but we don't know how old they were, and if they blow out on the steers, that's a bad day. So put them on here, and we'll run the heck out of them.
Not quite as bad a day if it blows up.
Yeah, not quite as bad. Coleman's putting our license plate on now. I went ahead and got our tags for the trailer. We need to put our rear tarp on here, and I think we'll be ready to haul some beans or corn or both.